So we're back. We just did our first Wheel of Fortune live, and that was so much fun. So I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. All right, we just did Virgo. So let's see who we've got this time. Scorpio. Scorpio took it. All right. All right. Scorpio, who else? Let's get our dice out here. Who else might need this message, especially if you are not Scorpio big three? Might be definitely Scorpio moon. You could also be Cancer. Let's see. Can y'all see that? See the moon? We've got 6th house, Virgo energy. You might want to go back and watch Virgo. Right? We just did that one. And Libra. And Libra. All right. Moon, 6th house, and Libra. So it might be super significant if you're cross-watching for a Libra, or if you are one, if they happen to have the moon in Libra or the moon in the 6th house, moon in Virgo. You could be a Cancer, a Virgo, or a Libra rising. That's interesting energy because it has to do a lot with your everyday routine. 6th house. Libra is about relationships and partnerships and how we work with other people outside of ourselves. And the moon is emotional, right? It's intuition, it's feelings. And that kind of gut sense. So you may also have significant placements with those as well. All right. Welcome back, Chad. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Risa. Welcome back. Yeah, so we're doing Scorpio. Like I said, Libra, Virgo, and Cancer may also be significant. All right, because we have 6th house out there, and we have the moon out there with Libra energy on the dice. So we're going to do the Barbary Tarot and the Hermetic Tarot. I may or may not use the Wild Unknown. Let's see what we've got going on. Do you guys like the wheel? I like the wheel. I had fun making the wheel. You have to let me know if you enjoy the wheel. All right. Let's see what else. Yeah, you could be a Scorpio 6th house too, which would make you a Gemini rising. Gemini rising might be significant. All right. What is going on for Scorpio and anybody else who needs this message in divine time, including our special dice roll? Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna try and go live every day. I'm gonna spin the wheel. I'm gonna spin the wheel and just see what comes out and who needs it. At least once a day. I'm gonna try and do it for a month. See how I feel. All right, what's going on, Scorp? Scorpio is your 6th house. Scorpio is my it's intercepted in my 5th house. Let's see. Placidus, that is. All right. We got the Knight of Cups. What else? The 8 of Wands. The Spider. the King of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Clarities, please, for Scorpio. Five of Swords reversed, Emperor reversed, Ace of Cups. Give me one more. And the King of Coin reversed. All right, so you've got three different players. At least three, could be four on the board. We've got Justice on the bottom, so definitely could be dealing with a Libra or have it strong in your chart. And we've got the Two of Wands. Two of Wands on top. All right. Okay. Scorpio, you know I'm nosy. You know I'm looking at the bottom of the deck. Three of Wands, Four of Wands, Star card, 10 of Wands. Lots of Wands under here. And there's the King of Cups. Six of Swords. I feel like you're healing from a major spiritual burden as well, Scorpio. Virgo was just going through the same thing. You're going through a major healing, potentially connected to a counterpart like twin flame energy, where you're moving forward and it's justice. You're like, I'm moving towards someone who gives a shit. Because everything you've tried starting before ended up in betrayal or pain that you've had to heal from, like, over and over again. Yeah, you're going into the alchemy phase. Right now, you might be trying to figure out what it is you want. Like, what do I really want? The Knight of Cups with the Five of Swords in the reverse. You might choose to have one with a conversation with somebody, whether you initiate it or them, like, take it how it resonates. But there's a very heart-based conversation, feeling-based conversation. Like, someone doesn't want to fight with you. I think you know they're not your emperor. The Eight of Wands is intuitive, you know, it's like getting communication from spirit. The Emperor in the reverse, like, you know that they're not your highest aligned partner. You know that ultimately it would result in something vampiric. Like, if you were to pursue it, especially if it's high chemistry, high passion, and there's not a lot of love behind it. And people confuse, like, lust and love all the time. Like, just because you lust for someone strongly and you have serious chemistry with them does not mean it's love. It means you have a serious alchemical draw to them. But love is something different. Love considers, right? Love is compassion. Love is empathy. Love is thoughtfulness. Love is loyalty. Love is honesty. Love is trust. Like, love is all of these things. That chemistry doesn't necessarily embody that energy, right? It's a different energy. I think you know that if you were to pursue something for lust, chemistry type based reasons, that it would result in something vampiric or toxic, right? Eventually it would go there. because it's lust. It's not love. It's not loyal. It's not faithful. It's not considerate. It's not honest. You know what I mean? It's just, I think, you know, it would be a nightmare. And I think what's even more pressing, like, you want stability. This is no King of Pentacles. You know, being with someone who is not financially stable gives you high anxiety. And it's a factor when you're considering taking on a partner, right? No matter if you're a man or a woman watching, or if you identify as something else entirely, that's fine too. But it's like, you're looking at your partnership, like, it's not why I'm with you. I'm not with you for the money, but I'm not going to be with you if you don't have it. You know, like, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not what I'm after. But I'm not going to stick around if you're not a stable person on your own. You know, like, you have to be financially stable and be able to support the lifestyle that you want to have with me. You know, you have to be able to support the kind of lifestyle I want to have with you. You know, if we decide to move forward, are we compatible? You know, like, it's one thing to have chemistry. It's another thing to like each other, you know, as people. But are you compatible with your behaviors, you know, with your lives? Is it compatible with you, their choices? I feel like if there are separate people, and we're going to get into the Hermetic Tarot in a minute, I'm going to get some more clarities on all this. But if there is more than one person, I think two of them are clearly a no. And one is standing out from the rest. Because I think you know that they desire you. They desire that beautiful love light energy that you have. I think they might be the one that's a little toxic later on, though. You might be cutting down your options. Like, let's just say you are talking to three people. I think you're going to cut it down to either two people or just one person. One person's clearly not it. And someone else clearly can't be it, even if you want them to be it. And it's probably because they're broke. Like, they don't have stability. They don't have anything to offer you as far as, like, lifestyle. They have no, like, physical means of manifestation. And if you're an adult watching this channel, like, that's fine if you're 17. You know what I mean? But we're all fucking grown as hell here. Like, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're not financially stable, at least somewhat, like, you can't pay your bills, and you need help from somebody, like, if that's the game they're on, like, you're not interested, Scorp. You know, if they still lean heavily on other people for support because they're not taking care of themselves financially, that would be like, yeah, they're with you, but they still have their phone, their mom pays for their phone. And it's like, what? What? You know? Like, how old are you? I'm so sorry. Like, we listen and we don't judge. But how old are you? Like, why did your mother pay for your 44-year-old ass phone? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, interceptions are really interesting. Especially because I have my nodes in those two signs too. I'm a Taurus North node. All right, let me get some more clarity on that for you. Let's see. Because I know what I'm thinking, but I know there's more too, so. What else do I need to know about this, please, Spirit, for Scorpio? And potentially Cancer, Virgo, Libra as well. Let's see. What else do we need to know? One more shuffle. Okay. What else, please, Spirit, do we need to know? Ten of Cups reverse. Ace of Pentacles reverse. I'm holding this upright, right? Yeah. What else? Queen of Wands. That's the counterpart to the King of Wands, and that would have been the one you were looking at. Got a lot of pentacles out here. Heavy earth energy. Give me one more. The Devil. More earth energy, right? Capricorn, Saturn energy. Bottom of the deck is the Lovers, Gemini energy, and Strength on top, Leo energy. There's that 5th house ruler, right? Okay. Children of the Voice Divine. The Hermit's under that. The Magician's under that. Strong Virgo, Gemini. Really strong Virgo, Gemini. Like all 3 cards in a row. Mercury, Mercury, Mercury. Okay. This is the reiteration, I think, clarifying these 3 different energies, because the 10 of Cups reversed with the 6 of Pentacles, I think that's the one that is not your counterpart. I don't think there would be an equal give and take in love energy. Like they might love you more than you love them. The second is the Ace of Pentacles reversed with the Princess of Pentacles. And I think that's the person who can't offer you anything financially. Like they're not improving your situation. If anything, they would make it harder. If it even has any chance of getting off the ground at all. Like if you would consider moving into a place with this person, like they're not going to be able to afford the place. They're not going to be able to save up the money to get it. Like they don't contribute to making it happen. You know, you would be in that sugar mama, sugar daddy role. Which no tea, no shade. If you like it that way, by all means. But that's the role you'd be playing for the rest of your story with them. You know, it's not like it's going to change one day. Like you are the sole provider in that one. And then we have the Queen of Wands with the Devil. And the Queen of Wands was the counterpart to the King of Wands. That was with the Ace of Cups. The one where you knew there's a lot of chemistry there, a lot of lust there, but not necessarily something sustainable. Like it might start strong and blaze for a while and then start to get toxic. And that is the one, the Queen of Wands, the counterpart to the King of Wands, that comes through with the Devil. It's that attachment, right? It's that attachment you develop to somebody. The Queen of Wands and the King of Wands are the two most independent court cards. You know, out of all the different quote unquote couples, they are the most authentic or individual in the dynamic ship of a partnership, right? Where the King and Queen of Water, you know, they work together like this. The King and Queen of Pentacles, they work together like this. The King and Queen of Air can work together like this. But the King and Queen of Wands, they're like, we're going to run parallel paths, but we're not necessarily, you know, like this. They're highly independent. They tend to click best, and here's some good advice for y'all if that is the route you're going. They tend to click best when the Queen of Wands is favored or spoiled by or placed over on a pedestal everybody else from the King of Wands. That is the way that it works best. The Queen of Wands can dote on and use sexual reward with the King of Wands, whoever they are, you know. But the Queen of Wands needs to be made to feel like they are the supreme partner, even when their partner, the King of Wands, is not around. Like, that's the way that it works, that the Queen of Wands can trust that the King of Wands is out in the world doing what they're doing and are still, you know, loyal, truthful, committed to, prioritizing, holding compassion for them as the Queen of Wands, and vice versa. Right? That they treat each other that way. They have to be able to trust that when they're off doing their own authentic things, that they're not betraying the other. And it makes it the most difficult relationship to sustain amongst all the different suits. So, two very authentic individuals, high chemistry, really strong attachment. You guys might do really well working together and being creatively in tune, you know, like bouncing things off of each other. That could work out really, really well. If you guys use that Devil Capricorn energy to start some kind of business together or some kind of shared endeavor. Find out what you have in common, what you enjoy, and play into that. But I think that if this is a relationship that started on lust or started on chemistry, getting it to flip out of attachment and into connection might be the biggest challenge, you know, that you guys would face. But for real, Scorp, if there are multiple people, I think you have one clear path with someone. You just have to be well aware of the fact that it could get toxic, especially if you're both kind of like obsessed with each other, but haven't emotionally developed to the place of respecting authenticity and trusting your connection with them is what it is. You know, especially, like I said, if you've been, you know, betrayed in the past or something by someone that you cared a lot about. You know, you might even be really, really thinking about this, because if you do have multiple options and you choose one, the two people that you reject or turn down, you can't just hit them up a couple months later if it don't work out. Like, hey, sorry, I know I didn't choose you, but it doesn't really work like that. They'd be throwing up peace signs. Like, I thought you saw this. I thought you saw the peace signs. I'm sorry. Bye. They probably won't come back. So I think that you're really weighing the options. And to be fair, the person that you know you don't have a connection with for sure might be ready for everything that you want. Like, they're in emperor energy, they're just not your emperor. You know, like, you know, they are everything that you want, but the click is not there. The click is not there. They look great in your mind and on paper for what you want. Like if you were to write down everything that you want and everything that they are and compare the side by sides, you're turning down someone who is literally everything you want on paper because there's no click, there's no chemistry. I get it. I get it. Like I'm real big on the click. Like I'm a Scorpio Venus. I've got a little minors, stellium, Scorpio energy. Like I get it. The click has to be there. I can't not have it there. You know, like I have to have the click there. So I get it. Scorp, you have to have that alchemical click, and I think you definitely do have that with the King of Wands. I think it's really fucking strong too. The chemical connection, I'm pretty sure, is not anything that you can deny. Is there? I think you have that in spades. And the other one, you might have a lot in common, and you might really enjoy each other, you know, being compatible, but there's no financial stability with them. They're not ready for the relationship that you want. Let's pull the Harrow. Harrow? I'm stupid, forgive me. Oh, okay. I love you guys so much. All right. What else we need to know about the players here, the characters involved? The bear. That's the first person. The one you know is not your emperor, but it's emperor energy. That's the bear. Super protective. Ooh, we got the crows and we got the snake bite. Yeah, you got to stay away from that last person. The one that's not financially ready. That's not good. It's like one of those real toxic relationships where because they know you're superior to them financially, it makes them wildly insecure that they're not enough. Because it is not enough, you know? So like if you were to get involved with them, they would be in a constant state of anxiety or insecurity, thinking that you're going to leave them for someone with more money. They become really toxic. They can actually dip into that realm of narcissism where, you know, they try to isolate you from other people that you lean on so that you only have them, because they're afraid that, you know, you being connected to other people takes you further away from them, and they don't want to lose whatever financial aspect you bring into the picture. I'm sorry. It's outside. But the crows. The crows is interesting. It's a dexterity card. It's neutral evil. The crows are a dangerous bunch who indicate violent taking of that which is loved. When the crows appear, murder, theft, and other shocking loss occurs. So okay, so the way that I'm getting that, because we started this read saying you're probably on the same trajectory as Virgo, right? Similar trajectory where you're leaving old chapters behind and moving into new chapters. We had a conversation about light and shadow in that live, and oneness, and how we in union energy are both light and dark. And if you were in a previous, you know, counterpart situation, right, twin flame situation, whether you believe in it currently now or not, you know, you had this experience where you were, you know, connected to this path. I think you're flipping into your quote unquote evil or dark. If they always got your light before, they're getting the other half of your duality, right? Which is perceived as dark or shadow from them. You're not in wounding, you know what I mean? I don't want you to confuse it, but they're receiving you as being in the dark, right? In the shadow of it. You're not giving them the same light you used to. And it's a violent ripping away. Like, I think whatever you end up choosing, whoever you end up choosing, it is going to rip away whatever life you had before them. There's going to be before you got involved with this person and after you got involved with this person. Like, milestone energy. The King and the Queen of Wands, like moving forward as a suited pair. To be honest, Scorp, I think you kind of like the possessiveness of this person. Because they don't stop what they're doing. You know, the King of Wands is not going to stop what they're doing to deal with, you know, the Queen of Wands. And I think that them still having this attachment to you, like where the other, like the snake bite person, the third person, the broke ass, right? Where that person might get really clingy and up your ass because they're insecure. That's not the kind of possessiveness or obsessiveness that you want from your partner. That's not a sexy obsession, right? But the King of Wands, who does truly act in alignment with their authenticity, like they're not going to stop their life because you and them are in the middle of some kind of disagreement or some kind of just weird energy space. Like, they're not going to stop what they're doing and come after you to fix it. But they still get nervous. Like, they get nervous when y'all are not on the same page. Because they know you're as, in that fiery energy, right, just as unpredictable as they are. And they want you to stick around. They want you to still be there. But it's like this anticipation that you could surprise them and fucking leave, you know, like the risk of loss. And I think that every time you guys continue to choose each other, it's like, it's fucking hot. You guys continue to choose each other. You keep going back to each other. Like, you know, there's other options, both of you. But you keep choosing each other. And I think that's the kind of possessiveness or obsession that you love. Like, yeah, we might not always be the most compatible. We might not be the most compatible all the time. But having that attachment to each other, that's like, but damn if we're going to lose the other. I think it keeps things interesting. I think it keeps things interesting. Because both of you aren't going anywhere. Both of you aren't going nowhere. Y'all are staying with each other, not going nowhere. But y'all both play like, but I could though. But I could though. And they might, I think a part of you and them both really kind of like the risk. I think you both really kind of like the risk. Really. I can't help it. I'm pulling a sexy card. There's way too much chemistry on this board to not pull it. Give me one energy, Spirit, for the King and Queen of Wands. Give me one defining card from our Tarot of Sexual Magic. Other people try and steal your attention all the time from each other. Look at this energy. I'm going to bring it over here so y'all can see that. Get it on my camera. That's the energy. And you can see like there's that third person in the background with the torch or whatever. You know, she's got her hand on his chest, and, you know, he's got one hand going towards her stomach and the other one is like covering her mouth, like trying to cover her mouth, like, don't say it. Don't say it, you know, like, just because there's a distraction, don't say it. And she's sitting there like, don't worry, like, I've got your heart space, right? Her hand's on his chest, like, I got your heart space. Like, yes, there's these energies out there and these people that are attracted to me, just like there's people attracted to you, but fuck them. Like, I choose you, you know what I mean? It's like this energy. And he's yeah, she's got the other hand around the back of his neck, one hand on his chest and the other behind his neck. She's like, motherfucker. Of course I choose you, you know what I mean? That energy. Like, people always say, like, I want to be chosen. I want to be chosen. These two do choose each other. Despite all odds, they do choose each other. There's even a goat on the back of this card, just like that Capricorn energy, right? With the Devil card. Y'all are stubbornly attached to each other. And probably do have really great physical chemistry. So there's longevity in that. There is longevity in that. I think if you're not careful, it could slip into toxic. It could. I think you just have to be well aware of that reality. I don't think it's something, you know, that you can't avoid, that it's going to be toxic no matter what. I think it could be very healthy. You just have to be aware that it could slip into toxic if you let it, right? Let's pull some spiritual cards. What word of insight or guidance or advice for Scorpio? You don't have to rebuild a relationship with everyone you have forgiven. Oh, wow. You don't have to rebuild a relationship with everyone you have forgiven. Like, just because you forgive them does not mean you have to continue moving forward and have a relationship dynamic with them. You can forgive them, they can forgive you, and y'all can move on. There doesn't have to be a continuation. It says, you are hereby granted permission to forgive everyone, but still be super picky about every person you let into your inner circle. Go forth and prosper. If you have anybody from your past that comes back, especially if you are moving forward, right? Because that tends to happen. We move forward, and all of a sudden someone from the past is coming back. And it might not just be for you. It might be for your other person too, you know. Like, let's just say you and someone else do make it official. You know, you're dating, you're officially boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. And their relationship on Facebook changes, right? Their status changes, yours changes, and all of a sudden their exes are coming out of the woodwork because they moved on. They moved on. And now they're with you. And their exes are popping up because their exes don't want them to be fucking happy with you. They don't necessarily want to be with them, but they don't want them to be with you either. You know, like past fucking people. And I think there's a beauty in choosing each other every time. You know, every time someone pops back up. I think that it could stay out of toxicity and really thrive in that Ace of Cups energy if you guys can be honest with each other about it. Like, hey, you're not going to believe it, but my ex reached out to me today. This is what they said. You know, like actually showing them a text message. And they just, especially if you're in like a newer relationship, because they're just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, they're not hiding it. First off, they're literally letting me see it, letting me read it. and this is how I want to respond. How do I word that to where they're not confused about what the fuck I'm saying? Like, I forgive them, but I don't want to be in their life, you know, and actually utilize your partner to help you deal with the past. Like, that's one way to keep it from going toxic. You know, if you were to get a message from your ex and not say anything to them, and you and your ex are now, you know, like forgiving each other, and every once in a while they pop up and text you like, hey, how are you doing? Like, no offense, but if they're your ex and you're not with them and you ain't going back to them, like, what the fuck do you care how their day is? And who the fuck cares if they know how your day is? There's no future in that dynamic. So what's the point of like small talk and just keeping tabs on each other? That's stupid. It's stupid. Like, I forgive my exes, but I don't give a fuck how their day is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't wish them ill will or anything, but I don't give a fuck. So, like, God bless them all. I hope they're enjoying life. I hope they're having a great life. I hope they meet people that they're happy with. I hope they have all the best things in life. I just don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I hope they get it. If they don't get it, I don't care. If they do get it, I don't care. Like, and I think that's where you kind of have to be moving forward with a new relationship. And as long as you could be in that mindset of, this is my future. What holds space in my future? It's your person. You know, it's your suited person, your authentic person. It's not anybody from your past. So let forgiveness happen. Allow closure to be had if it needs to be had. You could definitely get it on your own. You don't need somebody else for closure. I am living proof of that one. But if it's easier for you that way, like, get closure. Let them get closure, move on. I don't want to see it in my ex's next life because they didn't get closure. This one, you know what I mean? Like, don't look me up. don't look me up in this life. Don't look me up in the next one either. Like, I'm good. I'm so good. You know, like, get the closure you need so I don't gotta deal with your shit again. Dealing with your shit in one life was enough. It was enough. I don't need to repeat it, you know. And I think that you're moving into a place where you're really just exhaling all the bullshit. You know, breathing in the beauty of life and just exhaling all the bullshit. And I think whoever you're moving forward with, the Devil card there, it's got major longevity. I'll tell you that. Saturn, we're talking 30-year cycles plus. So whoever your King of Wands to your King of Queen of Wands is, you've got your match. You've got your match. And I think that there's room for both of you to grow inside that relationship as well, because it's not like the Emperor and the Empress. It's the King and Queen. So we know you're suited. We know you're in alignment. It's just a matter of being able to evolve and grow with each other, right? Elevating with each other, all about growth. So Scorpio, you got some choices to make. You got some people to cut, for sure. But I do think you have a really good future ahead of you with one person. Someone you're legit, like, probably already talking to. Even if it's relatively early. Like, I don't feel like you haven't met them yet. And if you haven't, then you're going to meet them within like a week. Like, you'll be in some kind of communication with whoever this is. It's very, very, like, present day. Very recent. Again, big signs outside of Scorpio. We had Libra, Cancer, and Virgo. We also had Gemini, Aries, Leo, and Capricorn. Mm-hmm. I think you and this new person are going to be really healing for each other. It might be a purging by fire, but really and truly healing for each other. Like, I think both of you know you've been through a lot with your histories. You know, like before they met you and before you met them, like there was a lot of history in life that was lived, and it wasn't all pretty. It wasn't all pretty. And you know this person has one chance left in them, and they're giving it to you, and you've got one good chance left in you for someone else, and you're giving it to them. You guys are taking that one chance and doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down on each other with each other. So good for you. I think you found something worth it. I think you definitely found something worth it. I know me. I can't be in relationships where I feel like I can't breathe. You know what I mean? Where someone's up my ass all the fucking time. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate people like saying hi or good morning and ask me how my day is going. But if I feel like I'm obligated to get back to you right away because you might feel some type of way and I'm in the middle of some shit, like, you know, like I go live sometimes for 4 hours. You know, God knows I've had, I think the record was like a 5-hour live. Like I go live for hours sometimes. You know, I'm going out, I'm driving, I'm doing Uber and I'm doing Lyft, you know what I mean? I'm door dashing and stuff in between my personal work. Like I'm not on my phone when I'm driving. My phone is my GPS. It's my mode of money. Like I'm not texting people back. And sometimes I drive for 10 hours, you know, 12 hours. I might take a break and answer people in between, you know, if I make a stop or go get gas or something. But, you know, I'm busy. I'm a busy person. And, you know, sometimes I just like sitting and talking with my son, and him and I will talk for an hour or 2 hours. I'm not on my fucking phone when I'm talking to my son. I don't want someone up my ass feeling some type of way because I didn't get back to them for fucking hours. But I promise if I'm interested in you, I'm going to text you first chance I get. I'm going to reply and respond the first chance I get. And I need someone who's not butthurt about it. You know, I said, oh, I was driving. They're like, okay, cool. Are you done for the night? Or are you on your break? You know, and they're not like, oh, really? You didn't answer your phone for 8 hours. Be like, bro, go find yourself a 22-year-old on TikTok. Like, I'm fucking grown. I got shit to do. Worrying about you is not on the list. Like, I hope you can take care of yourself while I'm not around. Like, fuck. You're looking to me like to complete your fucking life. Damn. I can cook dinner. I can give you a good massage. I can put some music on. Like, but sell my fucking soul for your bullshit? No. No. Right? For real. I think the chemistry y'all have is cute. I think it keeps it interesting. And I think you've got great connection. Y'all might be very, very different on your paths. Very different people. Like, I don't know if people would necessarily put the two of y'all together at first sight, you know, first glance. I think when they get to know the two of you and are around the two of you together, they understand it. They understand how you two really do kind of click in like puzzle pieces. But you could be very, very different, you know, very different. And I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So Scorp, I hope it helps. I hope it helps, especially if you are dealing with multiple people and you just fucking know. And I'm just validating what you already felt. You know, one person is perfect, but they're not for you and you don't feel the click. Another person it needs to fucking grow up and gain some kind of stability, or they're always going to end up toxic in relationships, whether it's with you or someone else. And then you've got a keeper. You got a keeper. So I will see y'all next time, Squirt. I love you. I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.